In the golden hush of dawn, the palace stirred to life, its marble corridors echoing with quiet purpose. Two sisters lived within its jeweled walls, Princess Alara, the elder, bound by duty and grace, and Lena, the younger, wild as wind and sunlight. Alara spent her mornings reading royal decrees, her afternoons in council, her evenings lost in the loneliness of perfection. To her, love was an obligation wrapped in silk and silence. Lena, by contrast, was the heartbeat of rebellion, forever slipping beyond the palace gates to breathe air untainted by gold. Rumors had long spread of a man known as the royal thief, one who moved unseen through kingdoms, stealing secrets more dangerous than jewels. The guards cursed his name, the nobles feared him. But to Lena, the tales felt alive, like whispers meant for her alone. While Alara warned of treachery and shame, Lena's curiosity burned brighter than caution. One night, under the silver eye of the moon, a shadow drifted across the gardens. Lena, restless and reckless, followed. Beneath the almond trees, she caught a glimpse, a figure cloaked in darkness, pausing as though aware of her gaze. Their eyes met across a stretch of trembling air, and for the first time, Lena's heart stumbled. The thief vanished, but the image lingered. In the quiet that followed, Alara prayed for stability, for order, for her sister's safety. Yet unseen, the seed of temptation had been sown. A stranger's glance had undone years of royal restraint. In the stillness of that night, the boundaries of loyalty began to blur, and desire, silent, forbidden, unstoppable, took its first breath within the palace walls. Days turned into restless nights as Lena's thoughts tangled with the memory of the stranger's eyes. Curiosity overcame fear when she found him again in the shadows of the courtyard, his movements calm, precise, almost graceful. He did not flee this time. Instead, his voice broke the silence, low, steady, and certain. He called himself Kale. He confessed he was no ordinary thief, but a seeker of truth, exposing corruption buried beneath royal luxury. His words unsettled her. They sounded like danger dressed in honesty. She should have sounded the alarm, summoned the guards, and ended it there. But Lena did not. Something in his defiance mirrored her secret longing to be seen beyond her title. Every word he spoke chipped at the walls of her innocence. Their meetings grew frequent, stolen between dusk and dawn, cloaked in secrecy. He would tell her stories of life beyond marble gates, of freedom bought with courage, and she listened like one starving for breath. Alara began to notice the changes, the distracted eyes, the nervous laughter, the new perfume of night air on her sister's clothes. Questions were asked, answers avoided. Lena's lies came easily now, smooth as silk, spoken with trembling guilt. She told herself it was harmless, that Kale was merely a voice of rebellion, not temptation. But when he took her hand one evening and pressed his lips to it, the world faltered. In that single moment, loyalty fractured. What began as fascination turned into quiet hunger. Love, once a distant fantasy, became a perilous truth. And as Lena's heart leaned toward the thief's shadow, the first invisible thread of betrayal tightened around the sisters, fragile yet impossible to undo. The day of celebration arrived, filled with gold banners and hollow smiles. Alara's engagement to the noble prince was announced before the kingdom, her face serene though her heart felt heavy with unease. Lena watched from the crowd, her thoughts far from the ceremony. She had not seen Kale for weeks, yet his absence lived inside her like a secret ache. When he appeared again that night, slipping through the shadows, her breath caught as if her soul recognized what her mind denied. He warned her the prince was no hero but a man who traded loyalty for power, and his proof was written in stolen letters. She wanted to reject him, to run, but his truth shattered the illusion of safety she clung to. Their confrontation became confession. Every word burned between them until silence gave way to what neither could resist. Love, reckless and trembling, crossed the line from thought to action. The moment felt both sin and salvation. In his arms, she forgot the palace, her sister, and every vow that bound her. Yet guilt pressed its cold hand on her heart even as warmth filled it. Elara searched for Lena amid the laughter of nobles, her instincts clawing at her peace. She followed the faint trace of perfume and candlelight, only to find the truth waiting, her sister's eyes wide with shame, Kale's expression a storm of defiance. Time stopped. No words were needed. Betrayal screamed in silence. Kale fled before the guards arrived, leaving behind a single pendant glinting with regret. Lena's tears fell onto the floor where love and loyalty had collided, and in that instant, Elara understood that what had been stolen was not gold, not honor, but the fragile trust that once made them whole. The palace grew quiet after the night of ruin. Whispers filled the corridors, but no one spoke to Lena directly. She was confined to her chamber, her freedom stripped away like a forgotten promise. Outside, the kingdom carried on as if nothing had broken. Rumors said the royal thief had been captured and executed, though no one saw his body. In the silence that followed, regret became her only companion. Each heartbeat replayed his voice, every breath a reminder of what she had destroyed. Elara withdrew into duty, her once gentle eyes now veiled in distance. She read reports, attended councils, and smiled for her people, but inside, grief gnawed at her composure. Anger had faded, replaced by exhaustion and a sorrow too heavy to name. She told herself she hated her sister, yet when she passed Lena's empty room, she paused, as if waiting for the sound of laughter that would never return. Forgiveness hovered near but refused to land. Days turned into weeks. Lena wrote a single letter, every word trembling with remorse. I never meant to steal, only to feel alive. If love is a crime, then I am guilty of believing it could save me. Elara read it alone by candlelight. She did not cry. Instead, she fed the letter to the flame, watching the smoke curl like a ghost of what once was. When dawn came again, the same sun that once watched over innocence rose on two hearts changed forever. Elara stood on the balcony, the wind brushing her veil, whispering truths she could no longer ignore. Some wounds do not heal, they settle quietly into memory. In every heart, a thief remains stealing peace in the name of love, leaving behind the echo of what could never be returned.